I am good enough, I am happy, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am beautiful, I am extraordinary, I am amazing, I am loved, I am held. Welcome to the Mass.
On the surface she looks fine, but what's inside ain't always in line. Life is good, life is bad. She's a mess, but a happy one.
Hi, I'm Little Happy Mess and welcome to my podcast. Story time. Hello and welcome back to a new episode. I'm Nina and today I want to talk about rituals, routines and little hacks that help me get my mental health back on track, or that still help me get my mental health back on track and just generally be in a good, healthy state. Yes, I'd like to start off by talking a little bit about the last episode because it was it was about the suicide story or my suicide story, and that worked with me a lot. So meaning that after this episode, I couldn't record any more episodes. I felt very exhausting, and I fell back into a pattern, which is the pattern that always leads to my mental health going like. And this is the whole compensating a low self-esteem or a low feeling of self-worthiness with achievement, with performing, so with achieving certain goals, so attaching it to outcome. And this is a very dangerous technique. I think we all fall into it sometimes, but then there is people like me who like how do I say it? Like who get to a certain point where the only thing they define themselves with is achievement, is performance. So you can be very ambitious, you can be very competitive, and that's absolutely okay, and that's a great thing. But if your whole self-worth, and for me it goes as far as like my permission to exist on this planet, is based on performance, then that's not good. And a therapist once explained me like, our self-worth has like different columns it's built on so that it's stable. And the only column that I have to like balance my self-worth at that time, so that was like 6 years ago, was achievement, was performance. So achievement pressure, performance pressure. In German, it's Leistungsdruck, or Leistung in general, so performance in general. And when something happened and I couldn't perform anymore, so when I got sick, when I was going through a bad phase in life, whatsoever, and that column, kind of broke away because I wasn't able to perform, then my whole self-worth crumbled. You know what I mean? And then my mental health went down in the cellar, and I went to very dark places. And I kind of like found myself going there again, which is why right now I'm practicing, or I'm kind of like re-practicing many things that I did after my suicide attempt in 2020. So after this bad crisis, in order to stabilize myself again. And I want to share them with you today so that you know what I did. I can go into detail with each one in different episodes. Let's see how motivated I am to do that and whether you guys like that. And yes, there's one more thing I wanted to say, which was wisdom. Sorry, this episode today is a little, it's because, when I don't do an episode every week, then I kind of like, I get not worse at it, but like you get better the more often you do it. So consistency is key, which is kind of like a good bridge to my little rituals and techniques that I wrote down, or hacks, or however you want to call them, because they only work, or most of them only work if we do them consistently. So after I got out of the clinic, I didn't quite know yet that I got a second chance at life. I was still in this state where I was like, I really wanted to go, and now I'm back. Now I need to find a way to make my life better, because I won't do this again, because I don't want to fail again. I know this sounds horrible, but I'm just being really honest, and that's what I felt. Um, I got out of that thought system. I have to make it work. Putting pressure on myself again, in order to not fail again at something. And I put it in a way where I realized how gifted I was, how how lucky I could consider myself, how grateful I could consider myself that I survived, that I got a second chance at life, and that I had the possibility um, to to put something good in this world. But that all developed in the course of 2020, and then also 2021. Anyway, the things that really helped me, that started to develop through time, and I would say around October 2020, so 2 months, 3 months afterwards, I had practiced all of them so well that I could actually integrate them very well in my life, and I could see the fruits of some routines, some rituals already. So I wrote a list for that, because I think I could forget some. So please don't be mad if you see me looking at that list, but I will try. So the most important routine for me is my morning routine. Why? Because it is in the morning, I can take 1 hour where I'm completely alone, where I have no interruptions, and I can actually use this hour for all my little rituals and routines. For others, it's easier in the evening. For me, it doesn't work in the evening, or not as well, because I always have plans. And then my boyfriend is over or whatsoever, and I want to spend time with him, or I want to spend time with my friends, or I'm so tired that I don't want to do my rituals. It's kind of working out now, but I only take like 15 minutes to 20 minutes, um, uh, which is still good, of course. So no matter how much time you have, it's if it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. We have to start, and we have to appreciate everything we do for ourselves. And yes, but in the morning it works better for me. So you decide what works best for you. What I do in the morning, it varies a little, but what's fixed is my meditation ritual, my journaling ritual, my self study or education ritual, my yoga ritual or stretching ritual, and yes, that's about it. When I journal, I just write. So I start out with journaling. I just write down a few things. I keep it positive, or I try to keep it positive. And when I feel really negative, I try to take the learning out of it. I would write down like, I'm feeling a little anxious. I don't know yet why, but I'm trying to find it out, and I'm trying to be ready for the answers that I might receive throughout the day. I'm ready for inviting conversations that could help me, and maybe I am going to make an appointment with my coach or my therapist. But in general, I write down I'm very proud of myself because that and that happened, or I love myself, or I just write down affirmations. Affirmations like the ones I repeated at the beginning. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am held. Anything like that. And yes, that's a journaling ritual. So I keep it positive and I try to write down something every day. It's the first thing I do in the morning, so I try to make it as positive as possible. I'm saying positive like 500 times now, but it's the first thing I do in the morning, and I want to do it right so I can start right in the morning. Then after I journal, I do my educational practice, which is around 20 minutes. For me, that's watching a Mind Valley course. So I have like a package where I can watch all courses they have. Mind Valley is a platform for spiritual growth, but also growth in every other area. So there is many coaches on there, many very interesting people. I have done a super brain course so far. I've done a chakra healing course. I've done a life visioning quest. That's the one I did in 2020 that really inspired me, that made me find a life vision, that gave me a lot that I'm trying to give back now. And right now I'm doing hypnotherapy, which is really, really cool. I'm working on belief systems. So I do that afterwards, and then my meditation practice starts, which is the most important one for me, I guess, where I start off with gratitude. So I split it in 3 areas. I got that from Mind Valley as well, from Mind Valley's founder Vision, and the course The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. There's a course in the book. I already mentioned the book in one of the episodes. It's really cool. Anyway, so I split it in 3 areas. The first area is my life in general, my relationships, my wealth. So I say what I'm thankful for in relationships. So, for example, today I was thankful for talking to my boyfriend yesterday, for a phone call that we had, but also for a phone call or a phone conversation I had with my mom. And then I am also thankful for living an abundant life. I am thankful for, there's so many things. I'm thankful for being healthy. I'm thankful for my beautiful flat. I am thankful for having enough money to buy food and do the things I like. You know, everything that I possess, and then also relationships. And then the next area is career. So I say what I'm thankful for concerning my career. And I always include in that part, so I add things that I'm grateful for, which haven't happened yet, in order to draw them into my life. So, for example, I'm grateful to have millions of people listening and watching my podcast. And that's not happening right now, but maybe it will in the future. And by putting it out there, I'm trying to draw it towards me. So that's based on law of attraction and quantum physics. If you don't believe in it, it's fine, but it doesn't hurt to try it, to be thankful for it. And then, I'm also thankful for my podcast, obviously, and my job and other projects that I have. And towards the end, which is the hardest part, I am grateful for things about myself. So I'm grateful for example, it can be physical things like my hair or my nose or whatever I like about myself. But then also, attributes about your character that you're really grateful for. So for me, that's that I'm trying to change the world for the better, that I am loving, that I'm compassionate, that I'm trying to make this world a better place to live in, that I am ambitious, that I'm sporty, that I'm thankful for my muscles. And, you can pick anything. You can be thankful for your cooking skills. You can be grateful, like, to yourself, you can be grateful for your for your writing skills, for doing an amazing job raising your kids, for being an amazing gardener, for, basically anything. So I'll try to pick something, and it varies every day a little, but I always include something. And then after that, I envision my day, which is very crucial for me, because when I envision my day, then I already know what I want to do, and I don't overload it. So I start with today I want to I go to work and fix this and this appointment that I still have to fix, or contact that person to do that, and I will have a wonderful conversation. I'll have a productive conversation. Then I will have lunch. At around 12, I'll have it with my favorite workmate or whatsoever. Then in the afternoon, I will go to the fitness studio. I want to do my leg routine, which will make me feel amazing, and also gets me tired so I can sleep well. Then I will go home. I'll cook myself a nice meal. I'll prep a meal for the next day. I'll go to bed. I'll read a little. I'll do my evening ritual, and then I'll sleep like a baby goat and get the get the necessary recharge for my next day. So I envision it like that and include everything I want to do. So if in the afternoon I need to pick up a document somewhere, or if I need to go to the post office, or if I need to do grocery shopping, I include it too. So everything I really need to do or really want to do, I include in the envisioning for my day, so that I know what to do, but don't overcharge it. So when I'm like, oh, and I could do that and that and then that, then I'm like, yes, but I don't have to do it today. I can if I have the energy, but it's not necessary to do it. And then after I completed gratitude and envisioning, I just sit for a few more moments and just be in the presence of the moment. And yeah, just that. And then after meditation, I usually, actually before meditation, I usually do a little stretching routine, either my own routine, or I go to YouTube and do Maddie Morrison morning routine. She's really cool on YouTube. She has a lot of yoga flows and meditation. She has basically everything around yoga and meditation, and I really like watching her videos, but I can only do the beginner things. So her level is really high. Yes, so that's the morning ritual. I think for someone who hasn't got a morning ritual yet, it could be a little overloading, but mine developed over time too. So I really had to do it for, you always say like it takes 8 to 12 weeks until your body is accustomed to a certain habit you want to teach it. So you can take this, you need the same time for sports, and you need the same time for adapting a new diet. So be nice to yourself. You don't have to do everything at once, and also you don't have to do the same ritual like I did. I take 1 hour in the morning, and that's like approximately what I do, those things. And what those things, like how I benefit from this ritual, is in a way where I get more grounded. So I start my day and I already feel grounded, because my main problem is that I'm always kind of like head in the space, head everywhere but where it needs to be, and then I easily get overwhelmed. I easily get stressed because I'm not, having both feet on the ground, feeling held, feeling supported. So all those rituals really help me to stay grounded. And yes, that's one of the things I developed after my big crisis in 2020. Then other things that really help me. So my evening ritual is lying, also doing stretching and lying on a acupressure mat, because that's really nice for sore muscles after sport, and then also it sets me off to sleep really well. And very important, I'm trying to integrate it, like to do it every evening now, but I'm working on getting it there. So I'm trying to develop a habit with breath work. Breath work is helping me a lot at the moment. I have an app, it's called Othership, and they have like guided breath work meditations or guided breathwork exercises, and it's really good because I think breathwork is, or like to me it's hard to do it myself. I know a few techniques, but I need someone else to count for me. So 4 breaths in, hold 4 breaths, 4 breaths out. And on other ships they have music, and they do it very well, and they always describe what the different exercises do with yourself. And there's activation breathwork, but then there's also breathworks that deactivate yourself, so that help you to relax, which are the sympathetic ones. And these are the ones that do me really well, so that that are really good if you're like me and you losing contact to earth easily, or you get stressed easily. So breathwork is a really cool thing that I'm trying to integrate at the moment. So that's a ritual. And then there is certain things I do throughout the day. It varies a little. So sometimes I do them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do them on demand, kind of like if I need it or if I feel like I could need it right now. Some of these routines are, for example, affirmations, like the ones I repeated at the beginning. So I try to, when I'm in the bus, when I'm on the bicycle, when I'm at work, doing something that doesn't demand all of my attention, I try to repeat affirmations. And I try to repeat the affirmations that I think that I need right now. So I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I trust. I trust. I am loved. I am held. I am calm. Whatever it is that you think you could need right now. I try to repeat. Why? Because it might not even help in the moment, but it kind of teaches your brain in the long run to not switch into default mode. Because when my mental health starts to decrease, then the default mode switches on, meaning that my head tells me really negative stuff about myself, like you're not enough, you're shit. My brain kind of laughs at me. It's really awful. But when I've trained my brain, when you train your brain to not switch into that mode too easily, you can get out easier. And also your brain doesn't switch back into that mode that often, because it's trained to feed you or to serve you with positive beliefs and affirmations about yourself. So it's really important what we tell ourselves. And it's also really important what we consume. If we are in environments that are really stressful or that really not healthy, then we take that on, and if you don't feel the effects at the moment, you will feel them long term. So some environments we just can't avoid. So there is conflicts that are just there, and unfortunately we can't live in a bubble where everything's always good and where there's no conflicts and whatsoever. And then there's also the part where conflicts are good. You know what I'm trying to say. It's important what we feed our mind, and there are certain things that we can control. And what we have control of is the way we talk to ourselves. That's what I mean with affirmations, and the content we consume. So yesterday, for example, I was on Netflix. I tried to watch a series that I used to watch a lot, but then I stopped watching it. Why? Because there was a lot of violence in it, and I don't take it well. I can feel my heartbeat a lot, and it's just not good for me. And that's why I stopped watching it, because I know it's not beneficial for my mental health. So I try to only consume content or things that are good for me, which is why I never look look or why I never watch news, because news are usually bad, because bad news travel faster, make more money, and so on. And they kind of repeat anyway, so it's always kind of the same. And if there's like new regulations or something very important, I always get to know it, because there's a lot of people in my environment that tell me, and you will know at some point anyway. So there's always someone who tells you. But I have found for myself that reading the news, watching the news, is not doing me well. Seeing all the bad things that are happening on this planet where I'm not getting actively involved. So I'm just consuming it, saying, oh my God, that's horrible, but I don't do anything about it. That leaves me very sad and very frustrated. So I only pick out those things that I really want to, where I know I can have an impact, or where I want to leave an impact. And these are, articles that I would read, that I would watch. But the rest I just try to leave out. For me, obviously, it's everything around mental health. So I'm trying to consume these informations, because that's what I chose to make a difference in. But all the rest I'm trying not to consume. This is getting really long. Okay, what else did I write down? Then, really important, sport and sleep. You don't have to be a super athlete or whatsoever. You can choose how much sport is possible for you, but you should do sport. We should all do sports. It's just something that comes with our nature. We used to move a lot more than we're moving now. Just in our general life. Now life got more comfortable for most of us. We're just sitting around most of the time, but that's not what our muscles, what our body is made for, and which is why we have to do sports in order to to avoid back pain and to be healthy in the long run, and so on. You know the deal. Try to include sport. Sport is something that really, really helps me. So, for example, when I feel really bad, when panic comes up, or something like that, so everything related to anxiety, I go sprinting. So I do interval training for running, because that really helps me to decrease the pressure. And you will find things that are good for you. I like dancing too. Dancing really makes me happy, and it's also really good for the brain, to remember dance moves. I'm not good at it, but it does me well. And you'll find whatever's cool for you, or you're already doing sports, then that's perfect. And the last thing I want to talk about and really emphasize is something very basic. So something we all know that's very important, but kind of like ignore, or we just try not to think about it too much. We're like, yeah, no, but it's okay. And that's sleep. So when I get my 8 hours of sleep, I'm a completely different person, and the quality of sleep really makes a difference too. It's not just the hours of sleep, it's also the regular schedule, because we produce the most melatonin, or I think we even stop producing melatonin after 1 or 2 o'clock, past midnight. For me, I just know if I go to bed after 12, the quality of my sleep is never as good as if I go to bed before 12. Right now, I have a really bad schedule, because I came back from holiday and we always went to bed really late, which was not that good, but it just happens. It's always possible to go back, but what works for me perfectly is going to bed around 10, 11 and wake up around 6:30, because that is the natural, or around the natural time we were supposed to sleep, like with the sun going down, and then with the sunrise in the morning. that's our natural sleep time. That's what we biologically are programmed to sleep in, and it really, 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 really improves mental health immensely. Yes, so these are just like little techniques. I know they won't fix an acute panic attack at the moment or whatever else you're experiencing. These are all things that need to be practiced over time, and that will keep us in a, in a level or in a state where all those stressors we have in our environment and all the problems or all the issues with our mental health can't hit us that easily. We can bounce off a lot. And I think, or not I think, I'm convinced that if we really want to battle depression, if we really want to battle panic attacks, if we really want to battle anxiety or OCD or diabetes or heart attacks, whatever it is, we can add a lot more illnesses to that list. The most important thing, and the thing we are most in control of, so where we can take responsibility ourselves, are lifestyle choices. And all of the things mentioned are lifestyle choices. I didn't mention all of it because this episode is getting so long already, but I will do a second episode next week. I will continue with some other routines that are important. But what's the takeout of this is that everything that we're in charge of, everything that we can do, the food we put in, the amount of sleep we get, the rituals we do on a daily basis, our breath work, our affirmation work, our education work, whatever we can do, whatever we are responsible for and take responsibility for, to battle depression, to to increase mental health, we should further material. So I hope you liked this episode. I'm sorry for all the confusing thoughts in between. I'm right now up in my head too much. I'm thinking too much. I'm judging every word I say, which makes it kind of hard to get the message across. I hope you could take out something here. I hope the message did come across, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. I already said that. Anyway, I mentioned an app, the Authorship app, which is the one that contains the breathwork. I really like it. I do a lot of breathworks under myself. I don't get sponsored by them or anything, so I actually have to pay too. It's not that cheap. I think we pay 20 euros a month, something like that. But I consider it absolutely worth it. And then there is another app, which is the Mind Valley app. There is the courses on there that I mentioned, which are which you have to pay, but there's a lot of free stuff on there too, like guided meditations or some videos. So this is really, I do a lot on Mind Valley, and I really like it too. And I also don't get sponsored, so I really mean it from my heart. Yes. So, like I said, I hope it wasn't too confusing. I wish you a great weekend. I hope to see you next week again. If you have any suggestions for podcast episodes, I'm really glad. Just leave me a comment. Go to Instagram. Go to Facebook. I'm Little Happy Mess everywhere. If you're on Spotify, go to YouTube. Then you can also see me. If you're on YouTube, you can also listen to me on Spotify or on iTunes. And yeah, I wish you a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.